I understand that you intend to endorse Hillary Clinton tonight. I'd like to hear it.
Yeah, I'm ready. I am ready to get in this fight and work my heart out for Hillary Clinton to become the next president of the United States and to make sure that Donald Trump never gets any place close to the White House.
So now you're ready. Now you're ready to jump into the race and support somebody fighting Donald Trump. Yet, for the last 6 months, Bernie Sanders has been that candidate, and he has aligned more with your platform than Hillary Clinton ever could. Yet you support Hillary Clinton after everything's said and done. Which isn't exactly said and done. I'll go back to that. But Elizabeth Warren, people are pissed at you, and for good reason. You were a silent party during this entire election, which was clearly rigged. Even in California, where they're still counting votes, and no one has clearly won that state yet. While this race is coming to a point in the convention on the 25th in Philadelphia, it still is not over, but it could have been if Warren stepped in earlier.
One of the first bills that came up after she was Senator Clinton was the bankruptcy bill. This is a bill that's like a vampire. It will not die, right? There's a lot of money behind it. And
the bill her husband had vetoed.
Her husband had vetoed it very much at her urging.
And?
She voted in favor of it.
Why?
As Senator Clinton, the pressures are very different. It's a well-financed industry. A lot of people don't realize that the industry that gave the most money to Washington over the past few years was not the oil industry, was not pharmaceuticals, it was consumer credit products. Those are the people, the credit card companies have been giving money, and they have influence.
Even though you called Hillary out for changing her opinions based on donor money, even though Bernie Sanders more represents the views that you have for the Democratic Party, and even though the progressive base is mostly behind Bernie Sanders because he's the only progressive in the race, you decide you're just going to endorse Hillary Clinton. Do you like war?
Why did you not endorse during the primary? What was your thinking during the primary, holding out when so many other Democratic senators, all the women Democratic senators, almost all of the men Democratic senators got on board with Hillary Clinton? Senator Sanders had Jeff Merkley. You were one of very few holdouts who didn't endorse either one. What was your thinking about that?
I like how Rachel Maddow cleans up two of the points that she tried making there. She said, why didn't you support early on, rather than putting the name Bernie Sanders out there? Because that's the real question. Why didn't she support Bernie Sanders? And then she says, how come you haven't supported Hillary Clinton early like it's demanded? And you held your vote until now when all of the women senators have already voted for. And men. And men. We're not sexist here.
I thought that the primary was really important, and it was an opportunity for Democrats to get out there and show this is what it means to be a Democrat. We got out there and pushed those issues forward, and we made sure that the American people saw the kind of thinking we have, the kind of energy we have, and what makes us very different from those guys on the other side.
Okay, stop. Let's look at this. This was an opportunity for Democrats to get out there and show and to push those values and that platform that's pretty much Bernie Sanders' platform. It sounds like you probably should have just endorsed him. And you saying that this was a very important primary doesn't mean shit because you didn't do anything for the whole primary. No, Twitter wars with Trump doesn't count. We get it, you're progressive, you fought for progressive values, but what you're doing right now is fighting against the progressive values. This is someone who has half of the Democratic Party behind him, along with 45% of independents already behind him, ready to go. This is somebody who has a platform that would be good for America, and once he's in the office, would use the American people to push it. But don't mind any of that. Go vote for Hillary. I'm pretty sure the biggest thing that came out of this entire primary is election fraud, voter suppression, election rigging.
You think the primary was a long primary? It was a tough contested primary.
They keep saying was, both of them keep saying was.
What Bernie Sanders did was just powerfully important. He ran a campaign from the heart, and he ran a campaign where he took these issues and he really thrust them into the spotlight.
He thrust the issues into the spotlight just for people to shut him down. But hey, at least we're talking about it. That sounds like a lot of Hillary's points. We're going to start more talk about racial inequality. We're going to start more talk about the big banks. we'll start talking about not getting shit done.
And he brought millions of people in to the political process. He brought millions of people into the Democratic Party. And for me, that's what this is all about. You know, I take my cue on every part of this from Bernie himself.
And what about those millions that joined the political process for Bernie Sanders? Now they're in the Democratic Party, right? Well, no. There's National Dump Dems Day, which goes on the 29th of July. If Bernie doesn't make it, we don't want Democrats. They're not our people. If you're really taking cues from Bernie Sanders, every time you're on TV, you need to be pushing those platforms, not saying Hillary Clinton is perfect.
It is not about one candidate. It's not even about one election. It's about all of us coming together to help fight, to level the playing field, to make sure that everybody gets a fighting chance.
And she says it's not about one candidate in one election to make everything fair. We have to level the playing field. Elizabeth Warren, you are inside of the Senate. You see how things go down. You understand the process. You understand that there was election rigging, voter suppression.
Do you feel like Senator Sanders' supporters, and indeed Senator Sanders himself, who was an independent until 5 minutes before this race, do you feel like they have a home in the Democratic Party right now for real? Or do you think the Democratic Party needs to do more, needs to change more in order to be a natural home for those folks?
You know, the way I see this is that there is a very big and important home here, that I think about what's at stake in this election. And I think about what happens if the Republicans have the White House, the Senate, and the House of Representatives.
But no, instead of talking about the platform and what you want to push to make happen, you would rather say you have to find a home in the Democrats, otherwise the Republicans will win. It's the whole common enemy thing. Where Bernie Sanders people have been saying this entire year, thank God we have somebody to vote for rather than to vote against. Thanks for bringing it full circle. I can tell you that if Donald Trump wasn't in this race and wasn't saying these extremely racist points, that Hillary would have had no chance. Hillary isn't and has never been a strong candidate. They're just betting that the other guy is worse. Unfortunately, these attack ads are only going to get worse, and the fact that Hillary rigged the entire Democratic process, that's going to come up and that's going to hurt.
The financial reforms and efforts to try to rein in Wall Street, just say goodbye to it. And that means we can go where Wall Street gets to call the shots again. We saw how that worked out.
And we can go to where Wall Street gets to call the shots again. That's where we are now. Do you think when Barack Obama got into office, he started changing everything for us? He started making those changes that we wanted? No. Sure, we got some things. We got Obamacare. My insurance went way the fuck up. I'm paying up here now. It's up there. It kind of helped out, but still cost us a lot more money in the end. If only he picked up, I don't know, like a single-payer healthcare system that saves us money and covers everyone in the United States, like other countries do. This is what you call winning a vote with fear. Now, if she really wanted to defend the country from Trump, she probably would have threw her lot in with Bernie Sanders while he was running. It more than likely would have won him a lot more states. At the same point, she should have voiced her opinion when she saw exit polls not matching the actual vote counts at the end. These are the issues that the non-candidates who are still influential in their positions should have brought to the table and said, hey, listen, you're being robbed. This is wrong. Here goes that party mentality again. Protect the party at any cost, even if that cost is at the American people. Now, don't get me wrong, Obama stepped in the right direction. Fair enough. But Hillary isn't exactly Obama. She's more on the right position. That's left for you guys.
I look at those things and I think about what's at stake. It's literally people's lives, it's our economy, and it is the very fabric of our democracy.
So guys, this is what they call fear-mongering. Basically, they're going to say it's way worse over there, so vote for what's bad over here. And to wrap the whole thing up by saying that Trump would be death to democracy? Sorry? No, Hillary Clinton getting away with everything she's done so far, proven so, would be death to democracy. Half of us already feel like democracy has died in this country because of everything that's been allowed this year. And for you to say that you're excited to jump on with Hillary Clinton? What?
Hillary Clinton won. And she won because she's a fighter, she's out there, she's tough. And I think this is what we need.
She won because she's a fighter. She won because she's tough. She's always attacked by the Republicans and she defends herself on every one of those probably partially legitimate attack.
We have gone 240 years in this country without a woman ever being nominated for president, let alone elected one.
Yep.
Rachel Maddow, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. We have never had a woman nominated to be president, ever. Ever.
Her aggression and her stance as a fighter in politics, does that make her more palatable to a country who apparently has a real problem with this concept?
And no, we don't have a real problem with a woman being nominated president. Obviously not. We have a problem with a crook who is stealing from our tax dollars and our economy to give to the wealthy so that she could join that fucking wealthy 1% class herself. As half of this whole campaign has just been, we have to get rid of Trump, the media says Hillary is the person. That's been her entire platform. Hillary Clinton. At least she's not Trump.
This is about whether or not we are going to have a country that just works for the Donald Trumps of the world, that just works for a handful of the largest corporations in the world, or a country that really is building an economic future for all of us. And yes, I think having a fighter in the lead, a female fighter in the lead, is exactly what this country needs.
Female. Vote for her. Pander, pander, pander. Okay, I think we all get it. She's female. That was never a problem. Also, thank you for directly calling out the 1% and the top rich people like Donald Trump who benefit from our crooked system. You should have called out Hillary Clinton too, but that's okay. And I like how you will use Bernie's platform, 1% and top people like Donald Trump who are stealing from this country. I like how you use that to try and promote Hillary. That wasn't Hillary's platform. It's a voting point. It's not a platform for you. Honestly, there's not much more to say. Warren, you sold out. And no, I'm not saying you sold out because you got with Hillary Clinton and that's like the worst thing in the world. You sold out. Yeah, actually that is what I'm saying. Now, instead of supporting Bernie Sanders, someone who shares your goals, platform, and is the biggest fighter in this entire race, you can't say that he's not. You can't. So, Senator Sellout Warren, instead of supporting Bernie Sanders when it mattered, when you could have helped him win, instead of supporting that platform that was against the 1% and getting money out of politics, and all of the healthcare reform, the college reform, all the platform that you stand for, you go to someone who's crooked as fuck. You had a chance to do what was right, and now you took the option to do what's wrong. Not on top of that, you're also lying to the public and saying that Hillary Clinton has already won. You should know that's wrong. Superdelegates do not vote till the 25th. Yeah, it may be a slim chance. California could turn around, however.
Female nominee at the top of the Democratic ticket, but possibly having an all-female ticket.
Yep.
We're going to talk about that when we come back, if you don't.
Female, vote for her. And some people are saying that she's just only doing it so that she could get the progressive values into office and make sure she can watch Hillary. I don't think so. It's not what it looks like.
Easier and easier and easier to drain money out of the pockets of middle-class families.
Just talking to you about this political travesty that's going on here. I am not a journalist, a reporter. I don't work in the media. I don't do anything. I do construction management. But I have a brain. And I have a computer with internet, and I can research. And I'm also Bernie or bust. Because I will never, ever, ever vote for someone who is that corrupt. Risking a Donald Trump presidency, it's also a risk to have a Hillary Clinton presidency. Flip your coin, pick your poison. I'm going Jill Stein. But anyway, thanks for watching. Since this is YouTube, go ahead and like, subscribe, and rate the video. I'd appreciate it. If you don't want to, I mean, that's fine. Just hurts a little. See you on the next one.